humans are kind of uniquely story machines. And so if you can tell stories, particularly absurd stories that illustrate things, it is such a great way to let people know what's really going on. And it has happened. Thanks to the Supreme Court and their Citizens United decision, corporations in America are now considered people. But as you know, it didn't always used to be this way. First modern corporations began forming in the 1880s, and after we realized the kind of power these corporations had on society, you know, the Rockefeller trusts, the Carnegie Steel trusts, the Mellon Banking Trust, and the danger they could pose to our democracy, Congress passed the Tillman Act in 1907, which outlawed corporations from donating to politicians. Stood for 100 years, a little more. And fast forward a century, and corporations are now donating to politicians without any limits, or at least to political shall we say, assisting political campaigns. Why? Because the Supreme Court decided to blow up the sensibility of the Tillman Act and replace it with the mind-bogglingly idiotic idea that corporations are people and that money is not property, it's speech. And if corporations are people and we follow that logic to its final conclusion, then corporations should be allowed to get married, right? Well, King County, Washington, the county that Seattle's in, followed that Citizens United logic and showed how incredibly absurd it is by issuing a marriage license for a living, breathing woman to marry an inanimate, all-powerful corporation. In a beautiful and heartfelt wedding ceremony in King County, Washington, Miss Angela Marie Vogel, who's going to be on our show in a few minutes, married corporate person, a Washington state corporation. Here is the opening remarks from the minister opening the ceremony.
Today we celebrate our absorption into the new image of corporate commodification of all flesh, blood, and bone. As Angela offers her life in submission, may we also offer our own. All in the name of the brave new world, the brave new future, the brave new evolution of corporate control in whom we seek security, and all God's children said, Amen.
There you go. The wedding ceremony was attended by roughly 100 guests and was presided over by Pastor Rich Lang, who you just heard. He presided over a brilliant ceremony that was also absolutely brilliant political theater. Here's the corporation's vow. Clip number 2.
Corporate person, do you choose this mortal woman to be your wedded wife, to live with her in the holy state of matrimony, the commodified state of matrimony? Will you insert into her your purposes, structure her life to increase your value, receive her adoration as chains to enslave her? Will you silence her voice, surveil her movements, monitor her vagina, and restrict her opinions while increasing the illusion of her choices, as long as she remains your property, an object of your lack of affection? If the shareholders would respond, we will. Amen.
The shareholders would respond. And the shareholders, they were standing there and they said, yes, we will. Because the corporation, I mean, it's just a mute statue right there. And it was hysterical. The Pastor Lang told the crowd that for Angela, dear sweet victim of corporate propaganda, that she has been swept up in a love that knows no boundaries, nor limits, no moral concern. Lang went on to say that we gather knowing that the love that binds them together will end in the grief and tragedy of Angela's mortal death, even as corporate person lives on, marrying again and again with the adoration and support of shareholders worldwide. Here was Angela's vow.
Angela, do you choose this legal fiction to be your wedded husband, to live with him in the commodified state of matrimony? Will you love and honor and keep him, serve him in sickness and in health, in prosperity and in poverty? Will you practice kindness and consideration towards him? Will you defend his reputation and continually give up your own time, talent, treasure, and trophies just to pleasure him again and again? Will you forsake all other loyalties and priorities, being faithful only unto him as long as you shall live? If so, would you say, I will?
I don't think I have any choice.
That's good enough.
I don't think I have any choice. Yes, do you want health insurance? You got to talk to a corporation. You want to bank? You got to talk to a corporation. Well, actually, you have a credit union. as an option. There is a nonprofit, member-owned option for banking. So anyhow, finally, at the end of the ceremony, Pastor Lang closed this, actually clip number 4, rather than reading it to you. Let me just play it for you, because it's brilliant. Here's Pastor Lang.
On behalf of our true religion, the worship of the dollar, and in compliance with the laws of this land, I pronounce as an ordained United Methodist pastor that they are from this day forward husband and wife, one corporate flesh, to the glory of mammon and to the devastation of all the earth and its resources. Corporate person and Angela, may your children become sacrifices in war for greater market gain. May your wealth be without end. May your desire for more always be insatiable. May you begin every day in expectation of profit and end every night resting secure in each other's bank accounts. May your continuous lies never be revealed. May your lawlessness never be held accountable. May your theft be forgiven. And may you own this nation lock, stock, and barrel until freedom is no more. You may kiss and merge.
And, everybody take out dollar bills and throw them in the air, right? When our Constitution was written, the word person meant a living and breathing human being. But over time, the Supreme Court has expanded the definition of person, and only, by the way, the Supreme Court. Congress never did it. President never did it, to include inanimate, non-living, economy-destroying, and at times downright sociopathic and evil corporations. Over time, we've witnessed the corruption of our American democracy and a shift to a corporate oligarchy where we've lost much of the control over our American politics. We've lost that to not just domestic corporations, transnational corporations. We've allowed the power and control that corporations have in America to grow so much that we're left with a post-Citizens United logic that a living, breathing human can marry the likes of Walmart or ExxonMobil. It's time we restored sanity to America, brought the word person back to the vision of our founding fathers, where corporations were not people and money certainly was not speech. You can go to movetoamend.org and help redefine marriage as between two living and breathing human beings, right? I mean, there's this whole where's the American Family Council or whatever? You know, where are all these wackadoodles who come on our show all the time? Marriage is between two people. Yeah, is it really?